Walk up in this bitch like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, bitch, I'm really him, on God. Walking this bitch like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, bitch, I'm really him, on God.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Rush. It is your boy, Maxx Crosby. I'm here with my brothers, Brogan Roback, Darian Terrell in the building. What's up, boys? How we doing? How's the energy? How's the vibes?
They're high.
It's elite.
What's up with you, bro?
Just living the dream, you know? Thriving over here.
How can anybody be bad after a weekend of football that we just had?
Yeah, I mean...
Last night we had some good NFL all day yesterday. We had two college football playoff games. I mean, we're in peak season right now. It's good games every slate.
Peak. The only thing better would be if we were in the playoffs, but it is great. I'm not going to lie. You got college football, obviously the new playoff format, which is I think people are starting to realize is fire. NFL, NBA, UFC, boxing, everything is just lit right now. So,
would you change anything about the playoffs, the college football playoffs? Now that you've seen it,
no, I won't change it. More football. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's more football. It's making them more money. Mm-hmm. Why would you? You know what I mean? It's better than like we talked about, just the 14. So, I'm with it. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, the first round is a little rough, but hopefully next year there's some underdogs that step up. But I think overall it just makes it more competitive. Seeing Penn State in the Final Four is different. But to all those fans out there that were berating us, fuck you guys. And I was laughing. I was laughing the whole time. So sorry about that. You guys had a great year though. But go Bucks. Go Bucks. And I just want to say that. Oh, sorry. You're good.
No, go ahead. Let's talk your shit.
Oh, I was just gonna say. God, there's so many things I can say about the Penn State fans.
They could have won and should have won, low key, but
they should have won. And low key, we all picked them to win. So I will say that the second I switch out, I'm like, okay, maybe these fans are right. Maybe I should just win their side and believe in them. Got a great, defense, this quarterback, whatever, and they folded. So that's unfortunate. But Ohio State held it down. They prevailed. They saved us on the weekend, which is great. Yeah. And I mean, it was great to see. I mean, Ohio State's a problem, to say the least.
Will Howard, he's not getting enough love, honestly. No one's really talking about Will Howard, even next level for Will Howard. And I mean, I think he's playing better, if not better than everybody else right now. I mean, or as well, I should say. It's so. And
Aller, he's played better than Aller. He's played better than Quinn Ewers. I think nobody says a word about him NFL wise, and they
love Aller next level. At least that's what the reports are saying. But probably a good call for him coming back. Missed a couple passes early on, but he's a big son of a bitch. And D, you know where he's from?
He's from about 25 miles up the road, Northeast Ohio, baby.
Just an Ohio
you want good
thing,
football,
Max.
You know where to go.
Yeah. What? Ohio is better than Texas in football, high school football.
Yeah, said no one ever.
Okay,
besides someone from Ohio.
I just want to spark it. We're top 5 though. At least don't act like we're not.
Definitely top 8. No, I'm joking. Y'all are top 5. Y'all are top 3 possibly.
It's really about the states that have the biggest population, low key. Anyways, if you think about it,
Texas and Cali are the ones. And Florida.
And then Florida, and then Ohio. Ohio's pretty big.
And Ohio's probably 4.
Yes.
I get Georgia. Like Georgia's probably up there at 5.
Some call it the heart of the United States, D.
Ohio. I do.
Me too.
But we talked about last week, you asked him about what we can do to make the playoff better. That we talked about last week, but I think after you get past the first round, it's been great matchups. I think it's been good football. If we just get rid of, I hope, maybe, they just get rid of, if you're the conference champion, you get the guaranteed bid in, and you just take the top 12, it will be popcorn material every single game next year.
I agree.
Yep. I agree. Because I don't want – early in the year before the playoffs, we said we wanted to have like that Cinderella story. So definitely don't want to like get rid of a Boise or an Eastern Michigan, a MAC team that does win. So that part kind of sucks in that same aspect because we want that, but we also don't want the first round blowouts, right? So I feel like they got to find some way to, maybe it's the 8 best teams and then the 4 other conferences that are not like the Power 5 or whatever it's called now. Maybe they do something like that.
They duke it out for the bottom seeds, then they play the top ones if they win. That
like college hoops, they have those games that they play to even get into the bracket, right? Like those, what are they called? Playing games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all.
More football. That's all. And we're just here to play and watch more football.
100%.
I think it's a win-win for everybody. So if we're looking back at the playoff games, first you have Notre Dame, you have Penn State. Did Penn State lose that game or did Notre Dame win it?
Both. I know, but I think Penn State blew it, to be honest. I mean, they're up 10-0. They had control of the game. And I feel like they played it too conservatively. And I feel like James Franklin's low-key been doing that for a minute. They're ultra talented. They got the quarterback. They got the skill. They got pass rushers. They got players, bro.
Yeah,
bro. Their tight end's ridiculous.
He's out cold. They got 2 clean-ass defensive ends. They got 2 great running backs. They got a good O-line. Like, they were
I'd take their tight end number 1 overall. I've said it right now. In this class, yeah.
Number 1 overall pick?
Number 1 overall pick. You're going to waste it on. They're not going to do Travis Hunter. They shouldn't take either quarterback at 1 or 2. Sorry. I'm just going to say it. It's a weak draft class anyways for quarterbacks. If anything, load up on linemen, load up on D linemen in this draft. But I'm taking him. Bro, he can do what Brock Bowers does. Not saying he's going to break the numbers, but he can do shit like that. Like, no, he's doing read options.
He's ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
I like the hot take, Brogan. I'm not here to shit on you about that one.
He's different,
very
bro.
Hot take, but
he's the unicorn. He reminds me of like Brock is way more, but he's like, bro, he reminds me of like Gronk. Like he's big, strong, catch contested. Like he's a matchup nightmare for sure.
I like that. I like that pick.
Kind of like a Kittle almost, because he can move too.
Yeah, there you go. Sure. That's the one. And I think you guys all know the player in the draft that I want to see just do well in the league. And we were talking about it in the group chat the other day. But Will Campbell at LSU.
Oh yeah, big boy.
Dog. I need him to land on the team that I already root for. He's the type of lineman that you want in the room.
This is why we need you, D. Keep us freshen up on the big fellas.
Oh yeah, everybody can talk about the money makers. I'll tell you about the dudes that got a little dog in them.
Hell yeah, Jack Sawyer too from Ohio State. Jack Sawyer, bro, he's slept on, bro. I don't know why people disrespect him like that.
I'll keep sleeping.
What do you think it is, Max? Why do you think that, like, as a scout, if you're a scout, like, what do you think they're saying that's not having him in the top 10 pick in a draft or even the top 20? Because I don't think he's slated.
No, I just feel like a guy like him, he's done it at a high level for a very long time. He's a high recruit. He's a football player. He's not the twitchiest or not the sexiest looking recruit. You know what I mean? Like he's not freakishly big or fast or twitched up, but he is always making plays. He's consistent disruptor. He reminds me of a lot of, guys in the league that are like that. Like I feel like they looked at, Aiden, you got a guy like Aiden Hutchinson or myself or TJ, like obviously all, ironically all the white guys, we kind of get slept on a little bit, but we could play football. You know what I mean? Like we're playmakers. And I feel like I'm not, obviously he's got a long way to go, but I just feel like people for some reason don't put him in that conversation. I'm just like, you turn the film on, he's consistently making plays all the time. So I just feel like a guy like that, like if he falls, which he probably will go in like later first round, maybe early second, they're going to get a guy that's going to come in and be a playmaker right out the gate. I fully believe that. And then you got the dude from Penn State, Abdul Carter. Like he's going to be a top 10 pick. He reminds me of Micah, bro. Like obviously they got the same number. There's like a little shorter.
Yes.
Dude's a ball player, bro. He can rush his ass off. He's bendy, fast, twitched up. He's going to be a problem. So
I was thinking about that this weekend, how the Cowboys have 88 as receiver. You're a dog if you wear 88. I wonder if Penn State's starting to trend with 11 with Micah there. And then that was going to be my next question. We got to get some traditions going at Eastern. Maybe 98. He's got to be the guy though, and maybe it doesn't happen until their junior senior year. But we should get some trends going like that because it kind of looks like that.
Throwback.
92, yeah, I forgot. 92.
We could rock the 98 either way. I'm cool with that, but
stay to the roots. Stick to 92.
Stick to 92. Why not?
I'll tell you who from Penn State I like outside of that other D end is Brogan. We were watching that is Amin Vanover, number 15.
Yeah,
just every single time that man his energy is on 100. I mean that's a locker room guy. Yeah, I would have him on the team.
Amen. And that matters. Ella.
Hi, baby Ella.
Say hi, Darian. Hi, Brogan.
Hi.
Oh, okay.
Did she have her ears pierced?
No.
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 But I think Jack Sawyer, I love being able to see, defensive linemen. I know Steve Miller did it, back when he played in like 2000, I want to say 15 or 16. The strip sack for the return. You see the big boys on the run, and it's just like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That was a sick play. Icing on the cake.
We never talked about the dude from the Ravens, the big fella that caught the pick, and he just decided his fate right there in the field. He took about like 6 steps. What do you think about that? As a big fellow, should he keep going? That's your one opportunity, or do you think that was a smart call? Decide his fate.
As a big man, first of all, I'll say I told you the situation. I needed him not to get that pick for my selfish bet. But if I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose going out like that. But
sorry to hear
back to the question, as a big man, you're very conscious and risk averse in situations, right?
Yeah.
So he knew his limit, and it was not to try and return it, get chopped down like a tree, and then end up on his neck and then get carted off. He said, I'm going to live and I'm going to relish in the moment and take this opportunity. Almost popped the hammy going down, but he was up there celebrating like an OG. So I respect the hell out of it. That's my play of the year.
Hey, hell yeah.
That's my play of the year. I respect him. That takes brains to make that happen.
That takes brains, bro. And bro, him between that one and Tavondre Sweat in week 18, where he got that, where they had the strip, and took off and stiff armed the dude on the sideline. He was chugging along. He fell so hard and straight on the ball. Like, bro, he probably shattered his.
Oh my god!
I never felt this shit, bro.
None of that mattered.
No, none of that.
That's the worst way to land when getting tackled, or if your tailbone right on a helmet or something, bro. I'm out on those two. Oh,
Dunzo.
So we have we talked about the Penn State Notre Dame. Now we got Ohio State Texas. Did Quinn Ewers live up to the expectations that you were hoping he would?
I didn't hope he would do anything. I was optimistic. I felt like he was playing, like he clutched up versus ASU. Mm-hmm. But I would say no. I feel like it played part. I don't think he played terrible. I think there were definitely some decisions that were made that were a little questionable. I mean, you're at the 1 yard line and you're throwing, you're trying to get on the perimeter. Like, QB sneak the motherfucker. Everyone's doing the tush push. Why are we not doing that? You know what I mean? The game's on the line. You can go tie the game, and you're just, I don't know. I feel like we're overthinking it. You know what I mean? And especially in that moment, they're doing drop back, holding the shit out of the ball. I feel like, Quinn didn't have his best game, but there was also, I think there was some little questionable play calling here and there as well. So, I mean, in that moment is tough. Like, every little thing matters, every detail matters, and I felt like they just didn't execute at the end. And Ohio State just played sound football, and they finished the game. So, I mean, you got to give credit to Ohio State for sure, because Texas didn't just roll over. They took that game. So you gotta give credit to Ohio State for sure.
And they were without their 2 receivers. Texas. I mean, so you got to take that into account with Quinn, right? Mm-hmm. What is it? Gold Bond for sure got hurt, but he came back. If I'm not mistaken. Then the other guy, I'm a butcher. I don't remember who it is, but Golden. So he was out right away.
That's tough, especially the quarterback. Like, you're practicing all week with those guys, and all of a sudden, boom! Now you got to adjust. That's tough. Chemistry is everything. You know that just better than anybody, Brogan. Being a receiver, it's like Sergio going down before one of our biggest games. You'd be like, "What the."
100%. Yeah. And that's similar to like CJ Stroud. People are like, well, you had Diggs and blah, blah, but now you got guys that are second string, if not even P squad guys. Look at the Packers. They had legit P squad guys out there. And that's not disrespect. That's just the truth. Like they were probably P squad all year long. And now all of a sudden they're playing. That's tough to build, especially in just 1 week of preparation. Quinn, though, 20 for 30, 322 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick. I mean, he might be going to the Buckeyes for next season. He may be back at Ohio State.
I hope he pulls it back and then just undeclares and comes back. Because if he goes to Ohio State, they're automatic shoe-in. Mm-hmm. But he came out after the day after the game and said he was declaring. So you never know.
Yeah.
I think I do want to get your stance on this. I was, of course, watching a lot of outlets today, and a name that keeps getting thrown around with all these new coaching openings in the NFL is Sark. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think he's going to stay at Texas? Do you think he makes the jump up into the league? If so, how do you think that transition would be for him?
I will say this. I think Sark's a really good coach. I know he's come a long way. I've known him for the last few years. He's a really good dude. And he's all ball all the time. So I got a ton of respect for him. I think he's a really good coach, and it makes sense. Like he's everywhere he's been for the most part, like he's transformed that team. You know what I mean? And he's done it as a head coach. He's done it as an OC. He's always had success. You know what I mean? Regardless of his situation. So I think Sark's a really good coach. And I mean, a guy like him, a guy like Marcus Freeman, you're seeing his name pop up a couple times, the Notre Dame coach. I think he could be a legit NFL coach. Guys like that, they got their shit together, bro. They know ball. They're real leaders of men, and I think that's the most important thing. So you get coaches like that, I think you're going to have a chance to do it at the highest level. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if a guy like Marcus Freeman gets a job in Chicago, or like a guy like Sark maybe goes from Texas Longhorns to the Dallas Cowboys. I could see it, like low key. Mm-hmm. So you never know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, who's the head leading guy for the Cowboys? Nobody knows.
Yeah,
it just happened today. You think about it, you're like, okay, well, they've already been interviewing all these guys. Like, they're kind of going to be behind the 8 ball. Mm-hmm. We'll see. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll see. I think Chicago's in a weird, similar place too. Like, I don't think they have any. It's like no runaway guy. You know what I mean? Nobody really knows. I could see Freeman going there. I don't know why, but I feel like they got good energy. He's worked. You know, he has a young quarterback, young team. Bringing a guy like that who really is a leader, knows how to lead, I think it's important. So we'll see. And you see Deion too. Deion keeps getting weird thrown around.
Yeah. Plus, all those dudes you named have some sort of NFL ties. Like Marcus Freeman played a couple years in the NFL. Ryan, well, we didn't mention Ryan Day, but Ryan Day. Then you have Sark. Those guys all came from. I know Ryan Day came from San Fran, but I know Sark was in the NFL at some point too. So, and a lot of their schemes, you can tell, are very similar to the next level. Hence why they got NFL prototypical quarterbacks, because they want to go there and get prepped up. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the McCarthy news? Did Jerry declines him to go to the Bears for an interview and then turns around and fires him? They mutually agree to depart? Him. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Is it time for Jerry to sell the team?
He ain't selling the team.
I know.
That'll never happen. But I just think, I don't know. I feel like there's a certain way to go about business. You know what I mean? I don't know how all that transpired or what the details of the contract he offered, things like that. But like, you're thinking about firing somebody, you know what I mean? Or you're thinking about, okay, this is what we're going to do offer wise. Like, I just don't understand why you wouldn't have that already planned out when they weren't even in playoff contention the last few weeks. Why would that not already be discussed? So then if it doesn't work out, okay, boom, we go to the next thing and you're immediately starting the offseason. Okay, if we're moving on, we're already interviewing coaches and going on with our deal. Mm-hmm. If you keep them, then you're like, okay, this is the future. We're going to keep it. We're going to do another year, boom, boom, boom. So like things like that are, you know, they make it a little bit more interesting. So we'll see. I really don't know what the Cowboys are going to do. I feel like that's the one like big ass question mark. It's kind of random. I don't think people really expected that, to be honest.
Yeah. And they said Belichick, if he knew, he would have gone there, apparently. If he would have known that it was going to be open, the job, that he would have had some form of communication with the Cowboys, and he would love to go there, I guess. So I don't know. It seems like a big fumble all the way around right now.
Don't put it past him, though. It's only $1 million buyout here coming up here in a couple months for him to get out of North Carolina. So
that would be crazy.
They're still going to do some weird shit, but like even back to the timing piece, they could have at least imagine Vrabel down there in Dallas, right? Like they are losing out on opportunities and different coaches through the interview process by waiting the way that they did. So I'm interested to see how it shakes out for them.
No doubt. I like Vrabel to New England too.
Yeah,
I like Vrabel to New England for sure. I think that, I mean, we talked about it last time, but we were like, he's going to New England, no doubt.
Yeah.
It makes too much sense. They got a quarterback. They're a young team, but Vrabel knows how to build a team, build a winner, and build a culture. I think Patriots are going to turn around fast. They're going to be a good team. It might not happen right away, but they're going to turn that thing around pretty quickly. I have no doubt. Vrabel's he's a G, bro.
It's going to be like the Tennessee Patriots over there. I just feel like the culture in general is just going to completely shift. It might feel like old school Patriots all over again. He says he hasn't had a paycheck with the Patriot logo since 2008 on it. So he's about to see plenty of those. And I agree, Max. They're a scary team in some ways, but they also have to build in plenty others. But that might be the guy, honestly. And I know people are throwing Ben Johnson around a lot, especially to the Raiders a lot right now. But the Cowboys now could be an intrigue. I mean, Raiders and Cowboys, two great organizations, very well-known organizations, like internationally as well. So very intriguing places for those guys, for those spots. So
I agree, bro. It's going to be very, very interesting.
One other team that's going to be interesting in the offseason here is the Steelers. Of course, they come into the playoffs, get bounced first round, like always. Like I'd say it happens every time. I know. I'm a fortune teller. History repeats itself. That's what Cole said. But I have people now, you always hear people talking about they want Tomlin gone or they're going to get rid of all the quarterback. Like, what do you see, kind of, Brogan? I know we talk about this one often. What do you see happening this offseason with the Steelers?
I don't know. I know that they for sure need to go get some weapons on offense. They got to get some receivers. I think Pickens is nice. And that was going to be my follow-up to you guys on him. But to your point, D, I don't know. Do you draft a guy? Do you get a quarterback free agency? I think if anything, you pay Russell for another 2 years and throw him on some sort of contract and then try to find your quarterback. And you got to go – you got to draft 8 guys in offense. You do. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I feel that way. But we'll see. And I don't think you give up Mike Tomlin. I think he deserves more grace than that. But it's really intriguing, though, if he's going to be – if people are willing to trade for Mike Tomlin and teams are desperate in certain ways, it'd be interesting to see if anybody's going to have any offers out there. Because outside of Tomlin, what other coaches would be up for a trade? Like, that's so rare. Who would you put in there? I mean, him and
shit. Take Deshaun. I said shit. Take Deshaun
Watson.
We'll trade for it.
But for real, him and then who else? I don't know. Like McVay, you could maybe trade for McVay, and then Kevin O'Connell. I mean, those are 3 guys that come to mind. Shanahan, 4 guys right there, and that's probably about it.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't know. I think it's gonna be really interesting. I think it's gonna be I don't know. I feel like it's coming to the point where something's gonna be done. I don't know. I have a weird feeling that it's gonna look a little different in Pittsburgh for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. And it's nothing against Mike Tomlin. I've got all the respect in the world for him. I think he's a hell of a coach. I don't know. I feel like they've had him for such a long time, and they haven't won a playoff game in a long time. And I know it's not all on Tomlin. You know what I mean? He's a great dude, great coach. But I know, the fans are fiending for a team that has a legit chance. You know what I mean?
It's a cult there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
it's a legit cult.
They're all in. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting. I feel like there might be some changes. I don't know if it's with just the OC. They got to figure out the quarterback situation. Do you bring Russ back? I don't know. That's all question marks. Yeah, Najee's a free agent. I think George Pickens a free agent too.
So that's why I want to ask you guys: what did they do with Najee Harris, and if you were let's go there first. What would you do if you're Najee Harris? But secondly, if you're George Pickens, but you're another team, would you trade for him? Like, obviously his talent level is crazy. You can say there's some stuff on the field that you might not like, but would you roll the dice and say, I want to go get that guy? Or if you're the Steelers, I'm not giving him up?
I mean, it just depends on your level. I feel like a guy like Mike Tomlin is so respected. He's able to get these guys dialed in to an extent. You know what I mean? Like, he had Antonio Brown for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
That alone is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, he's had a lot of guys. Martavis Bryant. He's always had a card. Le'Veon. He's always had those type of guys. But he's able to keep them in the boat, which even is more impressive. So yeah, I don't know. A guy like him, like if you're Pittsburgh, obviously you have a guy of that talent. You want to keep him in the building. Mm-hmm. But if you were to leave, you got to be a team that has a strong culture. That's not gonna. It's a guy like him with no direction. Like, that could be a problem potentially. Like, you see what happened to Deontay Johnson. Like, that's my dog. Like, I f with Deontay, Toledo guy.
Yeah.
But he was with Pittsburgh. Like, he had some issues as well. You know what I mean? And he was balling with Pittsburgh, and then he left, and now, he's bounced around a couple teams already. Like, he got released like after 3 weeks in Baltimore, and now he's on Houston now, and it's like, I don't know what it is with the Steelers. They know how to draft some wild cards for sure at the receiver position. That's the league. Bro, it's been going and tame. It's been going back forever. They had Plaxico Burress at one point. They've had all type of guys. So I think it's even a credit to Tomlin. But we'll see what happens, bro. I think they gotta figure out the quarterback situation for sure. But there's a lot of things. I think it's gonna be an interesting offseason for them.
Do you think Najee could wear the black and silver?
Silver and black?
Silver and black. You think Najee could wear the silver and black?
I mean, why not? I mean, he's from the Bay. You know what I mean? He's from there. So you never know. Like, Najee's a baller. Anybody that can help, when it comes to winning and being a culture guy, a leader, like, that's the type of guys you want around. And you've seen Najee, like, he's played 4 years in the league. He's had 1,000 yards every single season. Like, that alone is extremely impressive. So yeah, a guy like you bring a dude like Najee, he's a tough motherfucker. He's hard to tackle too. And he's my guy. Obviously, I'm a little biased. We have the same agent. We're boys, but yeah, I would love to have a guy like Najee around. Selfishly, he can come to Vegas all day.
Are you going to have your recruiting hat on now? I mean,
I'm gonna stay off the grid. I'm gonna stay off the grid. I'm gonna stay off the grid. Obviously, yeah, we'll see. So I'm just focused on my rehab for sure.
Yes, you are. How's that coming along, anyways? Huh?
Yeah,
great.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling phenomenal. I'm in the weight room again. Rehabbing. I'm in my bag. I feel incredible. Workout's been great. Been dialed in, focused, and lasered in on being the best version of me. So it's been great.
If you're anything like me and every other guy in the world, do you want to satisfy your partner in bed? Well, today's sponsor, Rose Sparks, is here to help. Rose Sparks are a game changer for guys who want some extra help in the bedroom. They're a 2-in-1 prescription treatment that contains the same active ingredients in Viagra and Cialis, 2 powerhouse treatments. It's not just the ingredients in the medication that matters, it's how you are taking it. That's why Rose Sparks are designed to dissolve under your tongue so the medicine hits your bloodstream faster than the old school pills, baby. So Rose Sparks keep you present with your partner instead of waiting for a pill to kick in. Seems like a win-win for me. And I know what you guys are thinking. Does it really work? Trust me, fellas, I could feel it. Definitely working. And after 15 minutes, I was ready to rock. Signing up, though, is super convenient. Roe connects guys with Roe-affiliated medical provider 100% online, so you don't have to waste time in waiting rooms. If approved, Rose Sparks treatment ships directly to your door. Head to ro.co/therush to connect with the provider. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks on a reoccurring plan. It is time to rise to the occasion. That's ro.co/therush. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks on a reoccurring plan. Just remember, fellas, get harder, longer lasting erections with Rose Sparks.
It's been great. I want to throw this out there as well. This is totally off topic.
Love it.
I just want to address the Ohio State fans and Ryan Day.
So before you do that, I literally was going to say,
because I'm going to forget, and I've been wanting to.
Let's do this. Address the fans and Ryan Day. Let's hear what you got to say to him.
I'm going to address them right now. I'm going to say this: if they win the national title, I was wrong. If they win the national title, I was wrong. I will say this. I was very emotional. I was upset. I cannot believe that they lost to Michigan. I was the lowest of low of being an Ohio State fan. But I'll say this. They've responded. Everyone in that locker room, you could tell the way they're playing. They're on the same page. They're closer than ever. And you got to give credit to Ryan Day. I was sleeping on Ryan Day. Obviously, he's had a ton of success, but he's had some iffy big game moments. I'll say that. So Ryan Day goes and wins the Natty. I'll sit there. I'll be like, listen, I was wrong. And I'll say this. They have completely surprised me with how good they've played in this playoff. I thought after that Michigan loss, it was like the beginning of the end for like the Ryan Day era. But he's gotten his guys ready. He's gotten them together. So I'm a man. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Ryan Day has been extremely impressive, and those guys have impressed the shit out of me, that whole team. So I'm rooting for him. I need him to win the Natty. And I'll forever be okay with having a, Skip Bayless take. But at the end of the day, I'm fine with that. That's how I felt in that moment. And we don't lose to Michigan. So, you know what I mean? I don't regret it. I have to give them their flowers. When I'm a little wrong, I'll admit that.
You keep saying that if they win the national championship, you will apologize.
Yes,
What if they don't to Notre Dame when they're a 9.5-point favorite?
That's insane.
I'm going to just be silent. I'm be still. Like that.
Yeah. All right.
Just like everything. I'm be still.
Steady state.
I'm going up, but it's still.
Yeah, it'll plateau.
Your speech was perfectly said like a Buckeye fan, by the way. Just anger after one loss. This is why, no offense. Well, actually, all of the offense. We're from Ohio. That's why Ohio State Buckeye fans are the worst. And
absolute worst.
They are. You're like the Yankees, bro. You guys are always good. You get every break known to man in history, anyways. And as soon as just one thing goes south, honestly, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fire Tomlin. Get rid of Big Ben. He's washed up. We can't control Pickens. Buckeyes. So just so everyone knows, there's a great take, right, D?
Yeah, that's so spot on.
Michigan fans are the worst. There's other teams, bro. I could go on and on about teams, NFL, whatever it is.
What about the Chargers in their towels?
I was gonna leave them out of it, but don't even get me started. All those teams, Denver, Chargers, Chiefs. Actually, I'll say this: out of all those teams, and as much as me and Mahomes and the Chiefs, we go at it. We've had our wars and battles. Of all the fans, when it comes to intelligence, I feel like the Chiefs have the smartest fans of all. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing well. Like, they're winning Super Bowls. They have logic. You know what I mean? So, like, as bad as
this is going to go over so terribly, by the way.
I don't care. It's the truth. Like, the Chiefs fans, they're actually like, and they're smart. Like, they know at the end of the day, like, I'm trying to kill their quarterback, who's the franchise one, going to be the greatest ever. But they show respect. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's like they show respect. I feel like the other two, like, they're just disrespectful as because one, they really haven't won, and it is what it is, and I haven't either. I won't say that, but let's be real. I've been getting after their ass for years, so it's like I show my respect to the Chargers, like the players, all that. Like Derwin, I love this. My dog, like you got a lot of respect. Khalil Mack's a legend. Like over in Denver, like I know Garrett Bowles. Like me and him have had our wars. I respect them. They got some guys, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, great coaches. Like I'll show that, but like there's something about their fans, like their Chargers fans. I don't know if it's because a few years ago we sent them home. You know what I mean? Or I've gotten after Herbert or what it is, like, but something about the Charger fans, they come after me, bro. Like, they just wait for one thing to come after me. But I will say this. I understand it and I do respect it, the rabidness, because they are relentless and they will come after me at all costs. And I weirdly respect that in a way. But they just, I don't know. I feel like of all the fans, like, those fan bases, like, they're like, they piss me the up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, all right, you just give me another chip on my shoulder. I appreciate that. So major respect to them. They're just making me better. But they definitely get me going for sure.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the Broncos, then Bo Nix had a historical rookie season. I mean, before the game started, 29 touchdowns, I think that's second most in rookie history. But that being said, on the other side, Jaden Daniels gets the dub, moves on. Who is your guys' offensive rookie of the year?
Jaden Daniels.
Without a doubt, zero hesitation. Is that the rivalry speaking, or you feel that way?
Are you just saying Bo Nix, and who would you take, Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels?
I mean, you got to put Brock. You're going to Brock
should win the rookie of the year.
I agree.
Set every record. That's not even a question. But obviously the team situation. We were 4-13.
And then you got Malik Neighbors would be in that same conversation too.
Neighbors, Brian Thomas, all those guys are deserving, like for real. But like, if we're being 100% real, like Brock made first team All Pro as a rookie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's ridiculous, bro. Like unheard of. And they only take one tight end as a first team All Pro. So
that's crazy.
My answer, biasly, but just being real, like with that situation, it's Brock Bowers all day. But if it's going to go to anybody else, it's going to be Jaden Daniels, and he's the quarterback. So you're automatically going to get the upper hand on that. So I think Jaden Daniels for sure. I think he's going to win it. Yeah,
it's hard to disagree with that. I would take him, and I don't know how anybody would be mad. What a year for Jaden Daniels, if so, though. Wins the Heisman, comes in and then wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, gets his first playoff game. So it's safe to say they found their answer in Washington. So I'm shocked their defense is – I'm surprised the Commanders' defense is like the worst defense in the NFL, honestly, under Dan Quinn. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I mean, probably, but
I don't think they're the worst ranked, but
aren't they like the 30th or something like that?
There's something there. I mean, you could look that up, fact check it, but they've had some holes. But like, bro, last night they held Tampa to 20. Like,
yep,
they did what they needed to do. They got players like Frankie Lulu, Bobby Wagner.
Who's
they just have a lot of guys.
Corner. He's from Michigan. He's out cold. He's a rookie.
Sinstrel
he's clean, dude.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't want to butcher his name, but
I guess they're 13. So let me fact check myself. They're 13, but in rush defense, they're 30th.
Yeah, the run defense has been iffy, but also Jonathan Allen has been banged up. Just got back. They've had a lot of different little guys moving in and out, but they got talent. Like that team is healthy now. So bro, they're dangerous. I feel like the Lions and Commanders game is going to be a shootout, bro, low key.
And because I don't know if the Lions do very well against a mobile quarterback. That's going to be, we're going to see this weekend. It's a good test for them, especially if they're going to have to end up playing the Bills. They're going to have to figure that out because Josh beat them. Obviously, Baker beat him, but Josh beat him, and he's mobile as shit. So if they can control Jaden, but I think if the Lions go out there and they pound the ball and control the clock, I mean, they're going to score it. I don't want to say they're going to score at will, but they are a powerhouse on offense. And if they can't stop the rush, the Commanders can't stop the rush, it's going to be a long day. Especially if Montgomery's back, they're going to be able to pound him and Gibbs. Pause.
But that's the thing. Dan Quinn's a dog, bro. Dan Quinn is going to be ready. Like, if he's one of the best coordinators. Him and Ben Johnson going head to head, that's a matchup in its own. I think that's going to be an entertaining game, bro, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, is Dan Campbell low key changing football in a way where people are now going on 4th and 1 on their own side of their own side of the 50? Like, there's a lot of that right now. Fake punts, shit.
Staley on steroids. Dan Campbell. Brandon Staley, you remember him on the Chargers, bro? He was going for it every single time.
Didn't work for him.
It didn't work for him, but it works for Dan Campbell. But I feel like they have such a belief in him, and it's like they don't want to let him down by him believing in them. It's like it gives them an extra boost of – I think it's important, bro. Like, your coach has fully got your back and trust. Like, that goes a long way. So I feel like Dan Campbell, bro, he's a savage, bro. I with Dan Campbell. Like, I don't even know him. I don't like I played against him one time, but like I got a ton of respect for that dude, bro. He's built something. He is the
culture. He is the culture.
Yeah, and that's
and the players know that.
Right. They know that, which is dope, bro. Like he empowers the players. He does it the right way, bro. He's a savage. I love that guy.
Yeah, and nobody really saw this matchup coming, too, which is why it makes it this weekend so much fun, right? If anything, people thought the Packers might do it, I feel like, before they thought the before they thought the Commanders would do it. So I feel like they were gearing up, getting ready for tonight's game, Vikings Rams, seeing who they were probably going to play. But that's the best part about this time of the year, baby.
It's the best time, bro. And that's the NFL. That's why the NFL is the best. I'm sorry, not even close, in my opinion. It's way better than anything. I love college football for sure, but like just NFL, just the margin for error and the competition is so close. Like every game is close, literally. So yeah, that's why NFL is just goated.
It's actually like a different game in the NFL. It's like a game inside of a game, truly in the NFL, where I feel like in college, you're out there just like playing ball. You're playing ball, but in college, there's so many nuances and shit. I mean, Max, you know better than anybody, but like, it's just weird. It's just played differently. It's a hard thing to explain until you're kind of in it, but that's why it is the best.
New year, new you. That's what we're going to say all the way until 2026. But me personally, every time that I need to go and get my finances in order, I turn to Rocket Money. Rocket Money is an easy place for me to track my finances, manage all of my subscriptions in one place, and then see how much money I'm spending without even swiping my card. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/rush today. That's rocketmoney.com/rush, RUSH. rocketmoney.com/rush today.
But one more thing for you guys. Who has a better chance of dethroning Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, or Josh Allen? Who's got the better chance?
I think they're both incredible. I'll start off with that. And both have a chance. But I think, bro, I don't know what it is. And I respect the shit out of the Chiefs. I always give them their flowers. But I don't know what it is, bro. I just have this weird feeling that the Bills are going to do it, bro. I feel like they're going to – it's going to be – I think the Bills are going to go on a run. I don't know. Something about the energy they got over there, something, whatever they're doing. Josh Allen's in his bag, bro. I just feel like they're going to beat Baltimore, and low-key it's going to be a classic versus the Chiefs, and for some reason I feel like they might pull it off.
Wow.
Yeah.
D, what do you think, bro?
Darian?
I think that's tough.
Stand on it.
I mean, I am. If we're talking about dethroning, like beating them this year in the playoffs,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I personally believe that, and I told you I thought that the Bills were going to be my Super Bowl champs, but the way that I just watched the Baltimore Ravens play the game of football was unbelievable. I mean, they are hitting on all cylinders. What I think is going to come back and bite them in the ass is they might have a little bit of injury bugs, and they don't have the receivers that they might need down the stretch. So I think I still think that the Bills are going to be the ones that do it, but it's not by a wide margin at all.
Yeah.
I feel that, bro.
It's going to be interesting. If the Ravens defense keeps playing the way they're playing, they are going to be a tough team because first 6 weeks of the year, they were everyone's Super Bowl favorite. Then all of a sudden they hit a lull, and then everyone just completely stopped talking about the Ravens. Even towards the playoffs, they all kind of stopped talking about them. And I feel like it's because everyone knew their question mark was defense. But now they move Hamilton down over there to safety.
Safety, bro. That's the best thing they did.
Yes. They're a problem, and I think that that's going to be a war in itself. That's basically a Super Bowl in itself between those two teams, arguably. And then you got to pretty much do it all over again with the Chiefs. And if you're lucky enough, do it all over again. So they're getting the bag for it, though. D.
They are. That's going to be. I can't have this one held over my head because there's going to be a day of pick 'em when that matchup happens.
Yeah,
but just ride with what I thought. And towards the end of the season, the Bills were my Super Bowl favorite, but the Ravens can play right now.
They can play right now. I think
they're fun.
They're fun to watch for sure. I think, in my opinion, I just see. I don't know what I'm seeing with my eyes. I just feel like it's gonna be Philly versus Buffalo, and Philly's gonna win. I don't know why. I don't know. I feel it. We'll see what happens. What transpires. Obviously, there's a lot of football to be played, but that's
so you
my
think
early
Philly
prediction.
takes out the Lions?
I just think their O-line is so dominant that they can just control the game by pounding the rock. That's what makes the Ravens even extremely dangerous too. But bro, the way Philly is just controlling games is like, bro, they're just like, they make it look so easy. You know what I mean? Saquon's running like his life depends on it. He wants to win so bad. That O-line is clicking, dominant. Yeah. And they got a defense, bro. They got players everywhere, bro. Their team is loaded. Their team is loaded. So I don't know. I have a feeling Philly might.
Is that the best roster in the NFL?
I mean, bro, they got 2 all-pro receivers. They got all the best running back in the league. They got a great quarterback. They got a dominant O-line.
They have 7 on defense.
Front 7. They have Jalen Carter. They got Zach Bond, who's had a career all-pro year. They got dudes everywhere. Darius Slay, he had a crazy-ass pick yesterday. Dude, bro, they got guys. They're a problem. They're a problem.
Nothing like getting back to our roots, going back to Detroit, Michigan, where we all played. Shout out Eastern Michigan football, to watch the Commanders and the Detroit Lions play in playoff football. When we're going around looking, the first thing that we do is we pull up the Game Time. And of course, first thing I see, Game Time's always going to give you the best deal. We got a super deal. Lower level sideline, row 23, section 109, $758. So you better love the game of football or you better love one of these teams. But Game Time's going to get you the best seat possible. Game Time curation makes it easier to find better value for your tickets to sports, concerts, comedy, theaters, etc. All-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows you the upfront total with no surprise fees at checkout. Seat Views gives you a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. And the lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your tickets are guaranteed to be delivered on time, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Let's take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code THERUSH for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code THERUSH for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, before we go and get into our last 2 favorite segments, UFC 311's coming up. Yeah, I'm gonna open the floor up to my 2 gurus. What do we see happening here? Any predictions for 311 this weekend?
There's a lot of good fights, bro.
Let's see. I was gonna say, hit us with the main card. Let's just go one by one. We'll hit you with some little.
I'll hit you. Yeah, Kevin Holland's fighting. I don't know who he is fighting. Renier de Ritter.
Yeah, I think Kevin Holland KO. 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, this one I'm actually excited about, weirdly enough, is Beneil Dariush, which I know doesn't sound exciting right away, but then Renato Moicano. Moicano's a savage, and so is Dariush.
So is Dariush. That's a banger. I think Moicano is going to pull it off. Dariush just got knocked out last 2 fights. Mm-hmm. He was on a roll, but I think Moicano, bro, low key is he's taking that next step as a fighter. And those Brazilians, bro, they're so resilient with their training. You see what happened to Charles Oliveira, he kind of was slept on for a long time, and then he just willed his way through, and he just became a dominant champion. I feel like Moicano is going to go in there, and that's going to be his big statement. No, motherfucker, I'm really make a run. Yeah, I think he's different.
They just throw their kids. They throw those kids in the dojo immediately when they grow up, right? In Brazil, they're like, you're on the mat right now, and you're going to do jiu-jitsu, and you're just going to be freakishly athletic in this world right here.
Bro. Unbelievable. And they're so well-rounded. That's why they're so dangerous. You could take them down, but they could submit you. They could stand. They could knock you out. They don't have holes in their games, and they just continue to all they do is train. That shit is fire to me, bro. I have a ton of respect for those guys, how they approach it. I think Moicano's just his approach and you've seen his post-fight press conferences in their his shit. I'm this motherfucker.
Talking about eating a steak and drinking a beer immediately. He's just different cat.
He's a different motherfucker. You could tell it. He wants that shit badly. I think he's going to go in there and make a statement.
Low key boxing, like like Mexico, I feel like is pretty much like that's boxing. The Mecca, thank you. The Mecca is Brazil the Mecca for UFC, or do you think it's shifting to over there to Dagestan?
I mean, the Dagestanis are a problem just purely because they're so dominant wrestlers. Like you can't deny those guys. You know what I mean? They're unstoppable. Yes. But I think overall product, I think Brazilians as a whole are the most well-rounded, some of the most well-rounded fighters. And you can go back like Jose Aldo, Anderson Silva. I mean, now all the new guys, Charles Oliveira, like you can go on and on and on and on, bro. Like there's just endless amounts of dominant champions and just great fighters from Brazil. So yeah, they do. I don't know what's in the water out there. I don't know what exactly they do, but I know they train their ass off and they're all about their craft and they're all in. So yeah, those guys are different. And they got that aura to them too. Like Charles Oliveira, like we've been around him. We met him at the fights. Like carries himself a little different. You know what I mean? Like every Brazilian, all those dudes I met, like they carry themselves a little different. You could just feel their energy when they're around. And that's just fire to me for sure.
Hell yeah. And then you got Yuri and Jamal Hill.
That's what I was going to have to ask you, boys.
Yes, bro. That's the fight for me. That's
Yuri
the fight.
Jamal Hill. Who wins?
I'm gonna say this. I think Yuri is gonna win by knockout. Yuri is another one. Different cat, wired very differently. This dude is literally a warrior. Unfortunately, he's had to go through the buzzsaw twice with Alex Pereira, which is basically an impossible task at the moment because he is sniping everybody. But Yuri he's got that warrior spirit, bro, and he's so athletic and unorthodox. I think it's going to cause some problems for Jamal. And I think it'll be a banger. Like, I think they're going to definitely – it's going to be a crazy-ass fight. It can go either way. Like, I don't think it's, like, 100% going to be Yuri. But, like, I don't know. In my heart and soul, I feel like Yuri's going to make a big statement.
Yeah. You hit on it already. Obviously, Jamal was on the show, and I like Jamal a lot. This is going to be tough. But part of me was saying Yuri. Now I'm kind of starting to think Yuri's 30 and he's 30-5, right? I mean, that's a lot of fights. He's not the same Yuri the last couple fights, and I know he fought Alex Pereira, but I know you love Yuri. But I don't know. Something tells me this is something that Jamal is going to he's going to reassert himself. He's 12-2. Maybe does he take another loss? I don't know, but I feel like he's trending maybe in the right direction. You got to watch the left hooks, though. That's one thing I know.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Darian, what are you thinking?
I'm going Jamal Hill. Fuck what you talking about. Yeah, I mean.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at all. I like that shit would be like
averages, right? We hammer them once, didn't go our way. I'm going to hammer them twice and double down, and we reap the benefits. And I mean, I can't go against. I told him, like, when we sat down with him, it's like I can't go against someone. I'm not as big into UFC as you guys, right? So I can be so ignorant and not really care and just go with the people I like. And so that's why I bet with my heart in the UFC.
We like to stare at them on their walkout to just see their demeanor and just look in their soul, and then we know who we like is. Then we determine who's going to win the fight.
That's when we fire. That's when we fire. That's when
you fire.
We say, Darren, send it through. Send it through.
Yeah, and then obviously you got Merab and Umar. I got Umar all day, so and I can't. I'm sorry, I can't stand Merab. So
I can't stand him either. But great fighter, and Umar is a problem. Like these Dagestanis are different, bro. I don't know what it is, but it's hard to just say Merab's gonna. Bro, Merab can grapple like a mother.
Yep.
So I hope it turns into a standing fight where they both are stopping the takedowns. And I'm going to go Merab here. I think Merab is a problem.
He is a plus problem. 260, dude. He's decent underdog.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fire Merab.
Yes.
Hey, come on.
It's just, bro, he's got an engine. He'll go for a takedown, let you get up, take you back down, take you back down, take you back down. I mean, I think he has the record for the most takedowns when he fought Peter Yan, right? Something crazy. So I don't know. He might do it. It's just hard to root for guys like that. Sometimes it's not exciting. I know Dana feels me 100% when I say that. He loves them to just go in there and sock each other cold. But I don't know. I got Umar, but really, my upset that night is Armin. Armin over Islam plus 300. You're not in on the Armin train?
I'm not stopping you. Continue.
I just think Islam is great, but he's not Habib great, right? And I know he does have the one loss. That could be the only loss he has, and he's sitting right next to the Eagle, right there right up on the pedestal. He's right next to him, just not quite there. But I feel like that gap's got to get a little wider, because if Habib and him went in there, who do you take, Islam or Habib, if they actually fought?
I think Khabib, if he didn't retire early, he was on his way to being the GOAT, legitimately. And I think he's still in that conversation. He's that good. So you can't.
Is Islam 2.0 of Habib, or is he just not as good as Habib?
I don't know. It's hard to say, but you look what Islam has done. I mean, besides the one time he got clipped a long time ago, early on in his career, he's been literally shutting everyone out, not even competitive. He's been dominant. The only fight that was close was low-key Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski low-key got robbed. So, no, he's not Khabib.
And Dustin hit him up pretty well. Then he got his ankle snatched.
Islam still dominated that fight. Dustin was tough as, but that was a different circumstance. That was potentially his last fight. So he just went out on his sword. He was on that Luke Rockhold type shit when he ended his career. I'm gonna stand and you got to shoot me dead to get me out of here. So that's a tough task in its own. You got somebody really going out like that. But I think Islam is incredible. He's going to go down as one of the best to do it if he keeps fighting. So I think Islam. I'm taking Islam. Arman's a dog too, but I think Islam's just too much, bro. It's too much.
D, anything? You play man in the suit on this one? Or are you just going to be a fan?
No, I'll be probably asleep.
That's true.
If we're being honest, it's where these
the grizzly bear will be in his den.
Yeah. But, that's actually true.
But if I wake up and get the second win, then I'll just I'll watch the walkouts like always, and I'll pick my fighter.
I love that.
All right, boys. I love the UFC talk. Gets the juices flowing for us. We got to get back in action and see one of those here this off season. That was a fun ass time. It's different.
Yeah. It's different.
I mean, I'll say it again. I say it 1,000 times. When you guys told me it would be my favorite sport to watch in person, I thought you're just full of shit. Hands down, bar none, the coolest sport to watch in person is UFC. It's an entire experience. From the early prelims to the main event. It's the same level of intensity. Lock in. Great work, Uncle Dana.
All right, let's keep those New Year's resolutions going. The new year, new me. Let's just keep it all going. But there's some things that need to be left in the past. But there's one thing I will definitely be bringing with me into 2025, baby. It's that Mando whole body deodorant, baby. The best thing that I love about Mando is it's just very easy to use. Sometimes you don't have time to sneak underneath the armpits during a day. Get the spray. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. I love surprises, so do you. So Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash or maybe even deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% of your starter pack use code, The Rush, at Shop Mando. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
Let's get into Dog of the Day, and then we'll get into our Rushman of the Week. So that being said, we're going to talk about our dog of the
Dog of the day.
Dog of the day. 26 carries, 186 yards, 2 tutties. This dude has been on a tear. I mean, if Saquon Barkley didn't exist and have the season he had, I mean, Derrick Henry has separated himself from a lot of people this year. He's been dominant. He's been a perfect fit for the Ravens. They've utilized him the right way. And first playoff game as a Raven, goes in there and has a massive game. Absolute domination. The dude is, once he gets going, that's the thing with Derrick, he gets out in space and gets his legs churning. He's a problem. And these DBs and linebackers, you're tackling a dude who's bigger than me, damn near. You know what I mean? Playing running back. So big shout out to Derrick Henry, bro. The season he's had been incredible. That's a Hall of Famer. He might be first ballot. That dude he's had an insane career. So that's our dog of the day. Plain and simple. 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, huge win. First playoff win with the Ravens. Big shout out to Derrick Henry. You are a dog of the day, brother.
All right, now we're let's get into our Rushman of the week.
All right, y'all. You already know what time it is. It's my favorite segment. With all due respect to all the other segments we got, it's our Rushman of the week. We got 3 guys here today who are absolute ballers. We're going to start this off with the big boys. I mean, it's only right, Darian. It's only right. It's only right. So we're coming in at number 3 with the big fella. Just got a bag last offseason, and he's showing why he got that bag. This man, Justin Madubuike, going crazy. 2-piece chicken nugget, 4 tackles. Dude's doing his thing. And he's one of those guys that I don't know why. For some reason, I feel like he gets slightly disrespected in a way when it comes to the best of the best. But that dude, especially the last 2 years, he has put himself in that category, period. He's an elite D tackle. He's dominant. He can play the run. He can play the pass. He's got a wide array of rush moves, and he's only getting better. So him stepping up in the biggest game of the year so far up to date against the Pittsburgh Steelers with a 2-piece, that's a big deal. So coming in at number 3 is Justin Madubuike. Big shout out to you, brother. Great game.
Let the big dogs eat.
Let the big dogs eat. And coming in at number 2, former Raider. Dude is a dominant, absolute Hall of Fame lock, in my opinion. This dude has been – he's a problem in many ways. Against the run, against the pass. I've seen him. I've been on the field against him many times. Dude is an absolute animal. He's had an incredible career. And going into a playoff game, massive, stakes on the line. He goes out there and has 6 tackles, 2 sacks, and one of them against arguably one of the best left tackles in the league, Laramie Tunsil. This dude is just an absolute problem. I mean, he's done it for so long. He's continued to get better, and he's just going to keep improving if he continues to stay, because his game he's just so strong. He's so dominant, and I got all the respect in the world for him. Dude's a problem. But we'll see. I just saw that he's questioning if he wants to return or not. And I don't want to mistake that. I don't know if the one was on Laramie Tunsil. It might have been Bosa who got on Tunsil. But regardless, still dominant 2-piece. But at the end of the day, this dude is from the MAC, somebody I've looked up to for a long time. And just seeing what he's done with his career has been incredible. So if he is to go out, if he's to, decides to retire, I think he's had a Hall of Fame career. He got a DPOY. I think 9 Pro Bowls now, which is insane. This dude's just been a problem ever since he's gotten in the league. So big shout out to Khalil Mack, 6 tackles, 2 sacks. You are our number 2 Rushman of the week. Big shout out to you, brother.
Maction.
Big Maction. Home of Malcolm Kuntz as well. Big shout out to Kuntsy if you're tuned in. But number 1, Big Kuntsy. Coming in at number 1, this dude, young player, ton of talent, twitched up. He's getting better every single day, every single game. He is probably, we talked about this earlier, he's maybe 6'2", 245 maybe, smaller edge rusher. But we talk about all the time, it's the beauty in it. All rushers come in different sizes and shapes, and this dude goes out there in his second playoff stint, in his second season, comes out, gets 8 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 TFLs, 2 quarterback hits. Dude had a massive game. He had one of them on Zach Tom on a one-on-one underneath swim move, which was extremely impressive. Zach Tom's one of the better right tackles in the game this year. And just seeing him blossom as a player, it just makes Philly even more dangerous. And having guys like that continue to evolve and grow into their own as a player and pass rusher. So Nolan Smith, hell of a player. He's only going to keep getting better. I know he's a hard worker. It's going to be, awesome to see him continue to get better as his career goes on. But this is his first time on the Rushman of the Week list. So it's a big deal. And doing it in the playoff game, it's an even bigger deal. So big shout out to Nolan Smith. You're our number one rushman of the week, brother. Big shout out to you.
Congrats.
Go, Nolan.
All right.
It takes balls to sack a quarterback. It takes Sax underwear to support your balls. I've teamed up with Sax as their newest ambassador to bring you game-changing underwear. Sax underwear is versatile and comfortable. I wear it to train, hang out, and even sleep. They've got a pair for everything, and it allows me to be limitless every day. Use my code, TheRush24, for 15% off at Sax.com. Sax underwear with the ballpark pouch changes the game. Period.
That's a good episode, boys. We always end up right around this time, about an hour. Never too short, never too long. But go ahead and bring us home here, Watt.
You already know. Well, first off, I just want to say I appreciate you two savages. You guys are the best of the best. I'll see you very soon, as you guys know that. But this show wouldn't be what it is without y'all. And on top of that, the fans, we love y'all. We see those subscriber numbers going up a little bit faster now. We need y'all to keep hitting that subscribe button. We need to get to 100K. We would absolutely love that. But let's just take it one subscribe at a time. You know what I mean? Let's keep commenting, keep liking, and keep tuning in, keep viewing this show because we're on every single platform. We're going to keep bringing the content, and it's the off season now. So we're going to finish this, obviously going in, it's a little different with my ankle situation. Not able to travel the world right now. Probably the only trip I can make is to LA and back, 40-minute flight, get on the JSX is about all we can do, unfortunately, right now. But we are going to have incredible guests coming up soon. We have some legends, some current legends that are still in the league. We're going to have all type of guests across the board. So, like I said, I love you guys. Keep tuning in. You guys are the best. And I'll leave you guys with this. Stay present, period. In life, general, business, football, athletically, whatever you're doing in life, stay present, be where your feet are, and keep dominating the days because better days are ahead. But you can't worry about tomorrow. You can't worry about yesterday. You got to stay present. That's the only thing you got control of. So I love you guys. Keep tuning in. You already know what it is. It's the Rush.
Get it.
Peace.
Walk up in this bitch like, yeah, I'm really him.